This is Daryl Peebles, Daily Dose of Daryl, and I have a young man here that I have crossed paths with. His last name I thought was Ojeda, and I thought they were talking about Star Wars, and he was a Jedi, and that was like a different type of Jedi. But he's going to tell you how to pronounce this thing. His name's Richard Ojeda.
Yes, so I pronounce my last name Ojeda, but it's actually pronounced Ojeda. I am the proud grandson of a Mexican immigrant who made his way to the coal fields of West Virginia, and that J with the H sound wasn't really working out very well, so they just said, you know what, let's Americanize it and just say Ojeda. I'm very proud of my Hispanic background. I have amazing family in Guadalajara, Mexico, in Mexico City. Very proud of it, but that's just the way we pronounced it when I was growing up, and it's just always stuck like that.
And why did you enter politics for the first time?
Well, the first time I entered politics, it was because, I had retired from the United States Army and I went back to where I grew up. And I was devastated because spending 24 years in the military, the one thing that you will learn about is leadership. And then when you find yourself in a place where people call themselves leaders, but they do not lead, they basically represent themselves and all they care about is their bank accounts. And that's what really got me moving in that direction. And then my 75-year-old father was threatened by a man who was appointed as a state senator. And I decided, I'm going to take you on. And believe it or not, I ended up winning that race, but I won it while undergoing facial reconstruction surgery because I took a pipe to the back of the head and 8 broken bones in my face with brass knuckles. Because whoever was responsible for that, they knew that if I didn't die, I would become the next state senator, and I survived.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If you come out looking that good, I might have to get me a pipe because I'm not looking that good.
Hey, I tell people, I say, I got 58 metal plates in my face. I used to be gorgeous.
Should have seen me before.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, now you're running as a Democrat. Have you been involved in the Democratic Party at any time in your life?
I have been a Democrat my entire adult life. And when I returned to where I grew up, I ended up becoming a state senator. And I was able to get bills passed in a super minority because I do know how to speak passionately about bills. And once you're able to stand up and speak passionately about bills, the people that hear about what you're saying, if they support it, they will start bombarding the phone lines, telling all the other members that you better support that guy's bill. They actually had to close down the phone lines in the state capitol where I grew up because basically they were just getting bombarded. And a lot of them ended up having to vote for my bills because they knew that everybody was behind it.
And so, tell me what you're actually hoping to become in this race. What are you trying to win? What are you going to be? What area are you going to cover? Those kinds of things.
Okay, so I'm running for Congress in North Carolina's 9th Congressional District. I have half of Cumberland County, which is the Fort Bragg side. I've got all of Hope County, all of Moore County, all of Randolph County. I've got half of Chatham County, the Siler City side. I've got all of Alamance County, and I've got a third of Guilford. It's like a reverse C if you're looking at the map of Guilford. I'm running for Congress. I think that we deserve real representation. We deserve more than somebody who just tells everybody no more town halls. We need somebody that's willing to be open and accountable to the people, and that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I spent 41 years of my life in Alamance County, and when the COVID pandemic shut things down, I had to move out of a church parsonage that I've been in 40-something years with no equity, take out a mortgage from scratch till I'm 101, and I found the house affordable in that little seed part of Guilford County. So now this guy came all the way from the other end of the world, all the way through up here to see me today.
Oh.
And so that's why I wanted to share this story, because it's not easy to get people that really care about the guy, the little guy that's way off here in the corner. So I appreciate you doing that. Now, what is the one thing you hope to accomplish if elected this year?
Okay, there's quite a few things. Obviously, I want to sign on to the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. I obviously want to fight to kill Citizens United to stop allowing billionaires from stealing our elections. But there's some things that I want to do for the working class. I'm ready to say that it's time for the working class to get a break, and let's let the billionaire class carry everything for a while. Because ever since Ronald Reagan said trickle-down economics, the billionaires have gotten away with not paying anything. But there's some things that I want to do that's going to help the working class. I would like to make the first $45,000 that you make every year. The first $45,000 is tax-free. I think when you're talking about people like teachers and school service personnel, and school service personnel don't even make that much. But imagine if they never had to worry about paying taxes. That would be something that could absolutely benefit them. And I also would like to tie minimum wage to the cost of living so that if the prices of groceries go up, minimum wage has to go up. So a person working 40 hours a week that's only getting paid minimum wage, they're still going to be able to keep their nose above the waterline and pay their bills.
And why should anyone trust you with their vote?
Well, I think they should trust me because I have a history of getting things done. I have a history of being upfront and honest about everything that I do. And, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I know I come off to a lot of people like I'm a little scrapper. The truth is that I don't sit silent. I believe in being active. I believe in being accountable. When I'm not in Washington, D.C., you're going to see me in Guilford County, in Alamance County, in Chatham County, in Randolph County, in Moore County, in Hope County, and in Cumberland County, because that's what's important to me. I'm a military guy. I spent 24 years in the United States Army. When I say boots on the ground, I mean that. I mean putting boots on the ground so you get to see me. No more this time where a guy runs for office and then you don't see him again until it's election time. And that's what I grew up around. And that's what sickened me.
Gotcha. Who made the largest life-changing impact on your life, and how did that happen?
I would say the person who made the largest impact on my life was a man, his name was Sean Carroll. And he was my non-commissioned officer. I got in a little bit of trouble when I first got to Germany. I got in a big old fight. And, of course, they would start looking at me like, we got this new soldier in here. And he's, always, already on day one ready to throw hands. And he told them, he said, let me have him. And he was my non-commissioned officer. He was my mentor. He taught me how to be a good soldier. And I ended up losing him in a helicopter crash. But even to this day, it's been 30 years since he was taken. But I still think about him every single day. And whenever I make a decision, whenever I do something, I always think to myself, especially if it's in terms of leadership, how would Sean think about this?
Yeah. And so we touched on this a little bit, but how can you help the average voter's life more than anyone else?
Well, I think for starters, what I just recently said about the $45,000 and minimum wage. But I mean, having somebody in Washington, D.C. that actually is wanting to go there and do things is going to help these people. We don't see that. I mean, my opponent, he doesn't show up. He doesn't put boots on the ground. That's what I'm going to do. And let me tell you something. The one thing about me that I absolutely love when we're talking about politics is that when you have a job where your job is supposed to help people, supposed to solve their problems, and you do solve their problems, the feeling that you get is amazing. It's almost addictive. You want to continue doing things to help people, to elevate themselves. And once again, sometimes you get, it feels good when you walk into a place and everybody knows who you are. It feels good. And if they know who you are because of a good reputation, that is crucial. That's key.
Well, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to share this. My 47 million followers that are soon to sign up, I hope, will join my other few hundred. But I have a lot of people all around the world, particularly here in the United States, and I know they'll want to know more about you, since you're sticking your neck out now for them, and they'll also want to know to be able to share it with others. So I appreciate you doing this.
Well, if I could just say one more thing.
Yes, sir.
I'm running, and the person that is the current member of Congress does not show up. we believe we're going to take back the majority. Okay? If I go to Washington, D.C. and I'm in the majority, imagine what I'm going to be able to get done. But here's the thing. When Richard Hudson is in the majority, we get nothing from Richard Hudson. When Richard Hudson is in the minority, we're going to get nothing from Richard Hudson. Maybe it's time that we swap him out with somebody who is committed to getting things done for the American people. Because if we can do that, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get things done.
Well, thank you for your service and your future service. And we'll send this out to the world, and hopefully that more and more people will learn about you.
Ojeda for NC.com.
And that's just like a little Jedi for you.